Hi everybody, I'm here still. Been a rough week. Was out working in the shed and my knees are hurting pretty bad and my back is hurting terribly bad and blah blah blah, everything hurts. Kind of hate to get into that stuff, but every once in a while I do. It's been snowing up in the mountains. You can see all the snow up there. Decided to go with a 48 volt system. I got a video there cooking explaining that. We got the charge controller and the inverter sitting there. Got a second charge controller. Gonna take everything out except this one. All of this will go. What I'm doing, and I've already done it, is I wired these two batteries for 12 volts. So this is going to be my 12 volt batteries, and these 8 are going to be my 48 volt batteries. That part is almost done. I just have to finish what I'm doing. I'm going to use the east and the west to charge the 12 volt system. It's charging right now. I've got a couple of wires coming out there for charging that. I don't have an amp meter on that line, and I probably ought to go ahead and buy one. These are supposed to be good up to 100 volts DC. I hope so, because if not, they're going to burn up. I hooked up the wind to the 12 volt system, and of course it's not doing anything yet. 0 amps. And I'm pretty sure it's windy. I know when I was taking it apart, that thing was spinning like crazy. Yeah, there's a breeze, but I don't know if it's good enough. I'm just sitting here making a mess. Left my torch burning. This wire I'm using, that wire there that Sheldon's sitting on, harder than hell to strip. So I've been heating the end of it and then stripping it. These are my old charge controllers. Still got a few of them laying around. But I'm going to use 2 of these. These are 60 amp MPPTs. So I'll be taking 2 out and using 1. I could use 2. It doesn't really matter for the 12 volt system. I might just do that, leave it hooked up for 2 instead of hooking it into 1. I'm leery of having voltage, two panels charging. I'm leery of having the west charge and the east not charge into the same controller, because you're not supposed to have your panels. Oh gosh, I don't even want to try and explain it. But the panels are supposed to be equal voltage within a certain percentage. And if 2 of them aren't charging, then they're not within that percentage. So I think I'll just go ahead and leave this one and this one. I'll move them. I'm going to have to move everything. Do a lot of change in there. And I'll put the other 60 amp here. I'm going to use 7, 8, 9, 10, and 3, 4, 5, and 6 on that. So it's going to be exciting, of course. Everything's exciting. No, I'm wrong. Okay. Have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 on this one. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 will be on the new one. Okay. I'm just kind of waiting for that video to finish, and I'll get it posted before I disconnect the 110. It's going to be exciting. Y'all have fun. I'll be back. I got everything's wired for 6 volts. I'm actually showing 53.57 volts and charging at 5 amps. I think things are going to be different. I will have to hook up the computer here before I'm done and make some adjustments on that. These, you have to wire them. This is the power wire, and that is actually going to the 48 volt system. Now I did check that with the my voltmeter, and that voltage is correct. 53.5 or 53.6 volts is what we actually do have. So we're on the money. I think what I'm going to do, just for the sake of doing it, is get the inverter up there next and get the fuse in. I have to go pick up the fuse. It's down at the mailbox. And we'll be done with that part of it. The rest of that's all going to come off the wall. I think I might leave this one. Everything else is going to come off the wall, and we'll have to rearrange it and put it all back up differently. When you do this, make sure to disconnect the solar panels first before you disconnect your chargers. You'll burn them up. They won't work anymore. You let the smoke out. Alright, back to work. Real quick, like, what I did here was the positive here and the negative here. So these two batteries aren't connected directly together. And I went around in a circle back to here. So it's, where's my flashlight? I can't see. Okay, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. What the other thing I had to do, you remember the labels were facing out, so I had to turn the batteries around, just rotate them, so that the negative was on the right side. Otherwise I would have had to use long wires. But this is just a circle going around here. So this is the negative, this is the positive, and it's just a big circle going around. Now that works out pretty good. And then my 12 volt system is down here. I could have, theoretically, if I wanted to, just, I'd have to make sure. I might not say that. I might have been able to take the 12 volts off right here, but I'm not 100% sure I could do that. I'd have to check and see. I haven't checked it. I think I can. I think I can. A little train that said that once. Alright, if I had gone here to here, I could have gotten my 12 volts, no problem. But I don't have enough batteries to set up another 48 volt bank. So if I get 3 more sets of batteries, I may do that. Put these 2 sets in parallel. It'll be all series down there, just like this one, and these 2 in parallel. This right here is what happens when you're not paying attention to this wire. I had to replace this connector, and it just kind of drifts over real slowly and makes contact. And your eyeballs go blank and you can't see for 5 minutes. So that is what happened there. Alright, back to work. Okay, I have to go and get some wires because I got a mess there. 110 volts with both refrigerators running, 2 laptops plugged on, and the TV on, a ceiling fan, 5.86 amps. Solar batteries is, I need to change that. I need to fix that, and I'll check it again because it's still on 13. So I need to move this wire to here. But everything else seems to be working, except the wind gauge, of course. I'm going to go get wire. I need some double-aught to replace all that, and I'll be back. Okay, I got you hear that fan, it's pretty loud. Got everything all hooked up, and we'll see if it explodes in the morning. Make sure I tighten that one up. No, I didn't. Gotta tighten that one up. You see, I've got a hell of a mess in here. Had a lot of new wires, reused as many as I could. everything seems to be working okay. We're using 6 amps and the freezer is running. So that's pretty darn good. It's a lot better than it was. I hope it is accurate. I guess, reading about the 48 volt, and I've been reading on it for quite a while. I kind of wish I'd have read about it right from the very beginning. We have 14 panels up on the roof and 2 on each side of the house. And so these 2 are running the ones on the east side and the west side of the house. So east side, west side. No, west side, east side. Yep, there's the west up there. I need to relabel everything. Get it all done. I need to go into this one here and program it. I don't know what I can program, but I think I can program the lead acid and a couple of other things. And I believe you can connect these together with the LAN cable. So I'm going to look into that a little bit closer. I need to get the temperature gauges up off the floor and put where they need to be and clean off the top of the batteries. Got sawdust and everything else on them. Some parts. I replaced these 2 wires going up to the inverter, and I kind of think the hard part was these, because you actually connect these. These are good 0.6 volts to 100 volts. So these are actually connected to the 6 volt batteries here through these 2 connectors here, which I didn't run properly, of course. So I'm feeding 48 volts into these right now. These 2. This one and this one are connected to 12 volts. So they're working all right. We're using 4.2 amps on 12 volt and 4.5 amps on 110. Let's see what happens. I can shut off a couple of lights and turn off this light. That one's 12 volt. And unplug. Figure out how here. Is that it? Yep, unplug the laptop and see what we're down to. I don't want to turn off the TV because it takes a while to turn back on. So that brought it down to 3 amps and 3 amps. There's 3 amps on 12 and 3.6 on 110. And that's a lot better than it was, I don't mind telling you. There is a difference in the voltage here, 49.3 and 49.2. So that's not much of a difference. There's no reason for a difference, but there is a difference, just differences in the meters, I guess. But this is going to hopefully work out a little bit better, a little more efficient. That inverter didn't have the very, very best ratings, but I didn't find one that did. This is actually better ratings than most of them. It's just a Chinese, Young Kong, whatever that is, reliable electric. So we'll see if it works. But anyhow, I'm not going to do anything else tonight. I got everything connected the way it needs to be. Tomorrow I'll come out here. I need to put wire ties on all this back here and straighten a couple other little things out. Had to remake all my wires here for all these. And like I say, this is in a circle. That's 12 volt positive, goes all the way around and comes back, not those, but all the way around here and comes back to 12 volt negative. Positive, negative. I don't have my fuse in here yet. I need to get a fuse in here. I bought one, but it's not even the right size. It's a 180 amp fuse, but it's a dinky thing. I doubt that it's good for 180 amps. I'll just order the fuse to fit this. I'll probably only need about 100 amp. So we're in good shape. Looks good. I like it. It's cleaner looking and neat stuff. You're supposed to be able to program it, I understand, the way I read the thing, through these, but I've never been able to program nothing through these. I might play with it here a little bit and see what I can do. But anyhow, I'm done for now. Y'all have fun.
Good morning, everybody. As you can see, it's foggy. It's pretty out there. Pretty cool. I worked on this thing back here until very, very late last night. And, I think I got it programmed. I think. And that one doesn't have a light flashing. I have to check into this one. That one has the green solar panel light flashing. This one doesn't. I will check into that. We have 49.12 volts right there and 49.28 volts. Pretty good. I'm not showing any charge yet. I need to check into why this one doesn't have a light showing. I will do that. But anyhow, I worked on it pretty late. I still have a few things to do. And we'll go from there. Alright. About all I can do at the moment. Pretty cool. I just have a big old mess to clean up out here. Back to work. Okay. I was listening to the 3939 Breakfast Club down here on ham radio and got in there and said hi to everybody. It sounds like, I might be wrong, but it sounds like my noise level dropped a little bit. The light is flashing now, so we're getting a charge there. We're not showing anything yet on the right here. On the 12 volt, where are we at? Oh, I don't have one on that. Never mind. I need to look at this one. 12.2. Yeah, we're not. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, we're not showing any charge on that one either yet. I hope it does. I need some power. It's working. The light started flashing here. I'm going to go ahead and button this one up. I'm going to contact the company because this doesn't work. You're supposed to be able to daisy chain these with the with the LAN cable and work on them all at the same time. And what had happened was when I plug this one into this one, I start getting all kinds of goofy doofy errors there. Stuff like there's a short in the load, and the temperature sensor's not hooked up, and my brain is dead, and stuff like that. But this is working. I like it. I have to set on it. I can't just go home or anything like that because, and I really kind of want to. I'm hurting bad, but I want to make sure that I'm getting solar to the batteries. I want to make sure everything's working. I want to make sure the inverter is working. It doesn't quit on me. I may have to get back into them with the computer and do some more work. I just want to make sure everything's working before I head out. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm sure. So, well, I'm going to clean up my mess, but that's about it. I think I could work out in the shed. I can get Bob over here, and he can help me put the roof up on it and stuff. But I think that's really cool out there. I like it. There's old baby in the way as usual. Underfoot. That refrigerator's running. Let's go back here and see what kind of amperage we're drawing. 4.7. So, as you remember, that was drawing 16 amps every time that refrigerator started. That's good. I forgot about the wireless over there too. That's running all the time. I do have to go outside and reboot the weather station because I turned the 12 volts off, and that's not going to be working right now. Have to reprogram it every time you disconnect the power to it. I did disconnect the weather station from the solar panel out there, and I hooked it up to, what did I do to that? I don't remember what I did to it. Anyhow, I disconnected it. So, that's nice out there. You can see it rolling across the site. I think my noise floor dropped on the ham radio. That's the New Mexico Breakfast Club. Alright, back to work. Oh, Sheldon. Don't be a pain. Being a pain. Okay. It's working. Got 21 amps to the solar. We're using 3 amps on 110, 1.87, 1.9 amps on 12 volt, and the wind is doing absolutely nothing. Of course. Let's see. Let's go to PV. 62 volts and 10.4 amps on that one. You probably can't see that. 97 volts and 5.9 amps, or 10.3 amps on that one. I'm waiting for a response on this. It might be a while, but I think it's probably working about as good as it's going to get. I wanted to see what we're doing here. 19 amps on this one and 12 amps on this one. That's good. I needed that. I needed to see that. Okay. I'm not going to button anything up yet. I'm just going to clean up my mess. And I'm not doing anything else today. I'm too sore. Way too sore.
So I might plug the computer into that and sit down back here, but I'm not doing any work. Yeah, I'm going to get this one here published, and I will keep an eye on that. It might be a while before I do another one. You just never know. But it looks like it's working the way it's supposed to. Pretty much. Almost, at least. Yeah. We're up to like 66 amps. It's up and down there, but the outside is cloudy and windy. The wind's blowing the sun away. And the clouds are just blocking the sun. So it's all over the place. But yeah, I needed to see that. What I'm wanting to know is I gotta watch this because I don't know what the high voltage shutoff is on it. Doesn't say in the instructions, of course. Yo, Chinese junk. I did get half of my money back on that, what is that thing? Bait and switch thing on Facebook. PayPal got it for me, and I sent him a complaint about that because it is a bait and switch. They should give a warning before, if they have a company that does a lot of that, which this company does. Anytime you see that airplane on Facebook, it's a bait and switch, no matter what company it is. There is a white one that's actually from RC King or Airplane King or something like that. Hobby King. And that one's legitimate. And there's one other one that's legitimate, but you're going to pay $200 for the airplane. Anyhow, back to work. I think I'm going to get this one here published. What do you think, Sheldon, baby? What do you think, Sheldon? I don't know what he thinks. And one more thing. My noise level, the hum, all of the hum is gone now. I don't have any at all. That's a good thing. Back to work.